of the now destroyed port of Beirut from a residential building in Jetawi, an area that was very severely affected by the explosion. Streets have been cleared out, and the buildings that were most severely affected by the rubble have been emptied out, and residents no longer live there. I'm here in Beirut, in some of the neighborhoods that were worst affected by the deadly blast at Beirut's port. And I'm here to see how much progress has been made in the past week in helping with cleanup and repairs since the blast. This is the main street of Jemeze, one of the areas that was worst affected by the blast. A lot of cleanup has been done on the streets, and lots of volunteers and workers and business owners are here to help clean up and repair everything that's been damaged. We are now entering into the main street of Mar Mikhail neighborhood. It's an area that was filled with bars and restaurants, and now volunteers have set up tents providing first aid and water and other supplies. Here's the building of Electricité du Liban, the state-run electricity provider. Windows blown out. Part of this house overlooks the port.
بدي شغلها بيتصلح وبده هذا عباد لازم يدرس يقولوا له إذا بيتصلح بده يتصلح.
Group of volunteers are giving out everything from cookies and coffee, sandwiches, water for volunteers and residents here on Armenia Street.
حجم الدمار كتير كبير. هذا الفكر. المساعدة ما حدا ساعد شباب. يعني ما حدا إجا قالنا، يعني ما إجوا بس يعني عم نسمع إنه بده يجوا يشوفوا الأضرار وكذا، صار لنا أسبوع تقريبا بعد ما حدا إجا. نحن نظفنا، عزلنا، كبينا المكسر، كبينا كل شيء، بس مساعدات أبدا لهلا ما في شيء. جروح وفي ابني جروح راسه كله جسمه، عندي بنتي 17 قلبي براسها وبجسمها كمان، ومرتي كل ظهرها ازاز. انا زمط.
Really damaged residential apartment building has been completely emptied out. None of its residents remain, and no one lives here anymore while repairs are underway. This is the residential neighborhood of Jetawi, another area that was strongly affected by the explosion at the port due to its proximity. And there are lots of volunteer forces and people helping out with the cleanup efforts. In the aftermath of the deadly explosion, so many people have lost loved ones. They've lost their homes and their businesses. their livelihoods. Many have sustained injuries, and many also say that they haven't received any help from the government in the meantime. But out on the streets, there are activists and volunteers out in the community who are providing food, water, assistance as the city comes together to try to rebuild itself.
The ongoing coronavirus crisis has meant a lot of adjustments and changes. One robotics company in Nepal changed its entire business to help out in the fight against COVID-19 in its country.
Nursing robots are modified versions of our previously built navigating robots.
Before COVID-19, our company Paila was working in robotics and AI. What we saw was a lot of repetitive and monotonous tasks, such as nurses giving medicines, doctor consulting the patients. We could automate all these processes with our robots, and we could save their lives. Nepal is a low-resource country with limited high-tech intensive care unit and ventilators. We worked extensively with the biomeds, doctors, and available resources, and we tried to fill the gap.
Initial design was very much influenced by MIT design, and we did it very quickly, around like 20 to 25 days. It uses very cheap and easily available part called ambu or back valve mask. We had to make the entire ventilator from resources that were available in the country because every transportation system was stopped. We had some funding challenges as well.
So this ventilator is a prototype. So we tested in some animal models. So it worked really well, and also we have recommended some few upgrades. So compared to the modern ventilator, it's not there yet, but it's almost there.
2 or 3 months, we can get to a point where we can manufacture this thing, maybe provide it to very remote parts in which there are no ventilators at all, and install a ventilator in every ambulance in Nepal. I think the most rewarding part is yet to come, and it is when lives are saved by our ventilators.
It's never great to find yourself stranded, let alone in the midst of a global pandemic, but a WeChat group is helping stranded users navigate travel restrictions to better help them make their way home.
I have a green card, a China green card, so I'm able to get back into China, but the problem was there were no flights. I left what I thought was on a 2-week trip in January for Chinese New Year and did some traveling in Europe. In the end, I paid about $8,800 on Swiss to come here, but it was worth it. Basically, all that information from the chat group gave me so much background on what routes were approved. I started searching the correct airlines, correct routes. Then I found that a seat opened up on August the 1st.
But in general, I help everyone in the group. So I can't really give you a specific number, but there's definitely more and more people that are able to come back to China. Basically, our family was actually in Hong Kong back in March while this was all happening. And we were actually looking for information for ourselves. Like, thank you. Like, can I buy you a drink? Can I get you a coffee? And I said, honestly, like, you don't need to do anything for me.
While I was gone, we had the biggest quarter in my company ever, selling PPE, and my team did a great job. But it's really good to be back.
What's the pattern on that blazer or the jacket?
The pattern, it's window pane. You can see here.
Awesome, I like that.
Here we go.
Hi, I'm Chris Rouser, and I'm the editor of Bloomberg Pursuits. Today, I'm going to go shopping at Xenia over Zoom. I miss shopping, and and a lot of people miss shopping. In China, when the pandemic sort of the first wave went away, there was a phenomenon of revenge shopping, which is like people went out shopping because they were pissed they couldn't be shopping before, and that is something that we're experiencing in New York. People are going shopping because they miss shopping. And it's not necessarily that they need clothes, because what are we doing? We're not doing anything. But they miss the act of shopping. And experiences like this that replicate that feeling are going to be a big success. Shopping at Xenia over Zoom, like through my laptop, actually felt very personable. It felt like I was in good hands. Like literally I was being held by Francesco's phone.
Here we go. We prepared it for you on our table.
It just felt like very friendly, and it felt like we were naturally going through the store and looking at, I would catch something out of the corner of my eye as he scanned the phone across the room, and I'd say, oh, let's look at that. It did feel very comfortable.
This is the other colors available in that model.
Oh, I like the red. I remember seeing that on QuickTake.
I don't think I did think this was going to be how we were shopping in 2020 or anytime in the near future. I think what we saw today was a creative and successful effort to fill a hole that was created, and I don't think it's going to put them ahead of where they were before this, but I think it will really help them get to where they were.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Chris.
So she was never pardoned.
For voting.
And we're for voting. That's right.
She was guilty.
That's right. She was guilty for voting.
She's written 9 books, served as a board member of the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund, and she's not even in high school yet. Meet the 11-year-old who's inspiring kids in South Africa and beyond to follow their dreams.
When I first looked into the world, I saw that most children's books were written by adults. But I was like, why can't children write their own stories and experiences? My name is Michelle Nkamangeng, and I am 11 years old. I have written 9 books and I have published 3 books. The first book I wrote was Waiting for the Waves, and I wrote it at the age of 6 and published it at the age of 7. The book is about a little girl called Titi who conquers her fear of the big waves by her uncle and her family helping her to believe in herself. My first 2 books, Waiting for the Waves and The Little Girl Who Believes in Herself, they were written by my 2 experiences. One of them I had when I was 5.5 years old, when I went to a beach resort with my family and I was very frightened of the waves. And my family helped me to believe in myself, to conquer it. Then The Little Girl Who Believes in Herself is me. After I believe in myself, I find what I want to become. The only time that my mother realized I was writing books is when I finished writing the manuscript of my 3rd book, The Little Mouse. And that's when she finally got the courage to open it and she realized that I was actually writing stories out of it. The experience of writing a book, especially at a very young age, is like you're going into a different universe, entering your own world, doing your own creativity. From my books, I would like other children to learn that no matter what life puts you through, you should always keep moving forward. My advice to other young girls out there would be to always follow your dreams. Do not always hide in the shadows. Do not listen to what anybody tells you, because you know who you are, you know your own qualities and your own characteristics that builds you up.
That's our show for this week. Thanks for watching. Remember to follow Bloomberg QuickTake on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
And for a daily recap of the day's top stories, visit www.quicktake.video. Thanks for watching.